the grandparents that came from independence, these were people that were ethnically divided, especially by the colonialists, who designed how their politics was done, pitting one community against the other. We've had a population who grouped together and thought that they wanted to design a future for Kenya. So each generation, one way or the other, have actually contributed in the way they are designing their future.
Correct.
And it's so unfortunate that a group now feels very uncomfortable when young generation, the Gen Zs, are now trying to design what they want their future to look like.
Yeah. And you know, actually, it's never obvious that people will appreciate your way of thinking, especially if you're thinking differently. People like people who are just part of the choir. Most times in this part of the world, leaders love people who are part of the choir. Until you find someone who is saying, no, that is not the tune I want to sing. In fact, I have a different tune. And Thabo Mbeki says, if we want to make progress, the former president of South Africa, he says, if we want to make progress, we need to rebel against the bad habits of the older generation, of the adult generation. And rebellion is never a good thing. You see, rebellion means that you're not just following, you're not just singing the chorus, you're also making your contribution, you're giving your views, and you want to be heard, you want to be listened to. So I think that tension will continue until the adult generation realizes that no, Gen Z are not just going to follow us. In fact, we have to follow Gen Zs because they are the occupants of that future that we are talking about, and they know it better. So let's follow them.
Wow. So, Raphael, I just want us to finalize. But one thing about you is that you're a very determined human being. You're a very determined guy. The awards, we've seen you go to places, you know, being traveling across the world, just representing the ideas, you know, of the African young people. And to get where you are, I believe it's a story of determination. To any young person watching this today, what is your story behind the determination? What is the spirit? If they want to get to where you are, they cannot be another Raphael Obonyo. Of course, you have to create your own destiny. But there is always an inspiration somewhere. So you have been somebody who is so determined. I remember you, your story featured in the Living magazine. It was where determination has taken you.
They say the difference between people who succeed and I don't want to say people who fail, but people who do not succeed, sometimes it's just determination. If you are determined, you will get to whichever destination you want. You've chosen for yourself. You've imagined for yourself. And I normally say, have this thing about 3 Ds. For me, the first D is always to dream. Because we are told if the mind can conceive it, you can achieve it. Dream of whatever you want to become. You might want to be the president of some country. You might want to be the Secretary General of the United Nations. It has to start with you conceiving it. Dream it. You know, there are people who dreamt of being doctors. We've heard of people who came from very poor families but ended up being very serious experts. It has to be the dream. And dream is not limited to where you are. And it's not limited to the moment. So dream, imagine that destination. So for me, that is always the first D. But the second D is, you know how they say you can dream of being a millionaire? If you don't wake up and go look for those millions, it's just but a dream. So you also need to take action. And that's where determination comes in. You need to be determined. And action means you need to put in the work. You know, it's not enough to say I was born in Korogosho and really I have aspirations of becoming this and that. No, you need to put in the work. To get out of poverty is not easy. We've heard of people who started companies, failed here and there, but because they were determined, they kept making progress. So put in the work. And I remember when I got a scholarship, then I went to the US. So I went for this program, our university, and that program, it's Duke University, and the program was very American. A few internationals who were part of it were really struggling. And I think out of a class of 60, we were like 10. 5 people who were on full scholarship, internationals, dropped out. And I remember some of the professors were like, hey, will this international, the remaining internationals make it, including myself?
Yes.
So they were like, Raphael, do you want to change your program? So I said, no. Where I come from, we don't even have that option of changing things. You need to really fight. And so I remember
work with what we have.
Work with what you have. Put in the work. And I remember I used to spend quite a bit of time in the library. We call it resource room.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the rest is history. I graduated, and amongst, I think we were just 3 out of the 10. And you can imagine having full scholarship, but you're still dropping out because it's too much pressure. I remember when I went back, the librarian was telling me, we are naming this seat after you because no one has sat on this seat longer than you did. But the story here is that if you want to achieve anything, you just have to put in the work. You will make it. Like they say, you can make it if you try. Keep trying. It's not, you don't have to be the best, but you have to put in the work. Do whatever is required in the right way to achieve whatever. So that is what I mean by determination. Because determination will get you there. Do the work, put in the hours. Look at people like Usain Bolt.
Yes.
We all are happy when we see him.
The final product.
The final product at the finishing line.
Actually, the number of times that they failed, the number of times that they put in the work and even felt like giving up.
You see him in the gym and you say, my goodness, would I really want to be Usain Bolt? You say, not me. You know, Raphael Nadal, the tennis player, quite an achiever. He says he used to practice 14 hours every day. As in, you know what it means to practice for 14 hours every day, whether it is raining, whether it's shining, whether, so that by the time now is at Wimbledon, the guy wins. And all of us are like, yeah, this is such a good player, and it looks so easy to win. So I think you need to put in the work. That is what determination is all about. And truly, I believe that you can be anything, you can achieve anything, you can get to any destination if you're determined.
All right. Yeah. To the slum kids, parting shot?
Yeah, to the slum kid, let not that be your story. Your story cannot start and end with I was born and brought up in poverty. That's not a very good story. Let's hear of what are you doing. And like I said, use your talent, use your skills, use your connections, do something to change your reality because it is not destined. You know, if you just let it flow, it will flow with you and in the wrong place. We grew up in the ghetto where we saw people growing up, getting into all manner of precarious activities, crime and all that, and that became their fate. But you can change that and say, look, this is the path I want for myself. And so don't limit yourself. That because I was born in the slum, I can only dream of, you know, small dreams. No, dream big. Because if you dream big, and like I said, you're going to achieve it. So don't say, me, I was born in Korogosho, so, or Kibra or Madare, so I'll just think about small-time stuff here. No. Think, do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be the best tennis player in the world? Do you want to be this and that? You can. And there are multiple examples around from our parents, from just people around us. You can learn from and see truly these people started from zero and they've achieved something. Again, Usain Bolt says how when he was asked to go and compete in London, he comes from Jamaica, a fairly very poor village, and he said he used to run in Jamaica. He was the best there. So the day he was told he's going to run in London, he said he only knows how to run in Jamaica. So the coach was telling him, you cannot be a village champion. Don't be a village champion. Don't be a slum champion. That all you want to do is just to do your things within
slums.
Dream big, think of greatness. Don't limit yourself. Imagine that those possibilities, because life has endless possibilities, and if there are endless possibilities, there are also opportunities to get you there. You might not have them immediately, but they'll keep opening up for as long as, like we said, you are determined.
Thank you so much. Yes, so that's a wrap. It was our conversation with the multi-award winning Raphael Obonyo, aka Raphael, from the streets of Koch to the world, and from the street of Koch to the graffitis on the matatus. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for sparing your time to be part of the Sera Talks.
It's an honor.
All right. To our viewers, please remember to subscribe, to click pictures. Thank you so much for always making this thing a success. I was your host, Andre Otieno. See you next time.